Hey there.
Welcome to the Daily Shift. You heard that right. The Daily Shift. The show where we block out the noise and speak truth, train your mind, and help you become the absolute best version of yourself. Leo and Andrew are on their way. You're in the right place. And while you're here, take a breath. We're about to dive in. The show starts in 30 seconds. You ready? Take a deep breath in and breathe it out. Prepare for your shift.
Hello and welcome. Good to see you on this beautiful Wednesday and the Deal Room Live. I'm excited to have you. We have a lot to cover, and over the next hour, we're going to be hanging out together here or so. We may, if a call wraps up a little early, we may wrap up a little early, or if one runs over, we'll go over a couple minutes. Now, we're trying a layout here that I think you're going to love. I'm going to be teaching you some strategies. Imagine it's a little segment of a masterclass every single Wednesday for now. We're going to give this a run and see how you guys love it, because ultimately we are excited to continue bringing you value every single day. Now, here's something that happens, and I'm going to share this with you. By the way, type in the chat 1 out of 10. How is your energy today? How are you feeling? Got to get the energy up, get the flow going here. I'm going to be closing your deals live. I'm going to be calling and negotiating various of our Freedom Life family members and coaching communities deals as they have came in. Excuse me, they have uploaded them before time. I'm going to be calling at least 5 leads. Maybe they all answer, maybe none of them answer. We'll see what happens, and negotiating deals. Here's my objective, though. As some of you may know and do know, I see some of our consistent folks here who show up so often. We do every single day. I'm on live. And what happens on Wednesday, we have changed it to be what I call the deal room. And it is where I take some of our community's deals and I put them in here and I dial them and I just talk to them, see what happens. Maybe we close a deal out of it, and we'll see what happens there. Now, a couple things you should note. Number one, this is my first time doing it in this setting, and I'm used to doing it on Zooms and various things, so bear with me as I figure out any of the technicals and behind the scenes. Notice I will occasionally hit the little mute button. You don't hear me for a minute. I share this because I may be on the phone with a seller and they go to give me sensitive information or an address or some specific detail, and I'll hit that mute button and you'll see me say something that you don't hear. Don't think your sound's messing up. Just know I'm doing that because I'm on the phone with a seller. The real estate market is shifting. And before I dial, I'm going to start here in about 3 minutes and dial our first seller. Before I do, I want to point out something. We are in a time where creative financing is no longer a niche thing. Creative financing is a must, in my opinion, if you're going to build a portfolio and cash flow. Because with rates raising and prices raising, it generally will just about kill your cash flow. And so there is currently, some of you have heard me share this, there is currently approximately 73% of houses that currently have debts on them have debts that are still below 5% interest. Below 5% interest. All right. So what does that mean? That means that if you drive by 4 houses that have debts on them, that 3 of them have debts that are below 5%. Now, why do I share this? Why is that important? Because, shoot, I hit the wrong button. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to figure this out. There we go. That is important because in today's market, if you can get 2, 3, and 4% interest like we often do, or on free and clear houses, maybe principal only payments, that will drastically change the numbers of your deals and take what might have been a okay deal at best, or even a bad deal, and make it a good one. So Wednesdays, I just put in the chat there. If you don't already have signed up for the reminder on YouTube, I put in the chat for you the reminder and showing you what each day of the week is. Sign up for the Wednesday reminders. And if you're in any of our coaching training, if you're in our coaching or our mastermind, you will already have the link in your email or in the WhatsApp chat to submit deals ahead of time. And each week, we're going to try it the next 4 weeks, and we're going to get your feedback and see how you love it. Next 4 weeks, I'm going to be dialing at least 5 sellers every single Wednesday. All right? If you're ready for me to dive in, give me a yes in the chat. Now, smart investors buy value. That may be cash flow. That may be equity. That could be a variety of ways that we get value. But something you often hear me say is we will get paid in direct accordance to the value we add to the marketplace. All right. I'm going to dial and we're going to see if we can get somebody on the phone. All right. I'm going to mute out for 10 seconds. All right. This is Beverly's deal. We're dialing Mr. Bill.
Hello?
Mr. Bill, it's Andrew calling you back about your Chestnut House. How you doing?
Oh, okay so far, but it's early yet.
It is early yet. I think you told my partner Bev here not too long ago, and I had a couple of questions for you if you got a quick second.
Sure.
Cool, man. So on that house, if I understand right, you're asking 427, but you're flexible on that price. What are you hoping to get out of this?
I'm not sure where they come up with 427. I've got it insured for 440, and because there is little things that need to be done here, I was looking at about 350.
350. Got it. Okay. And about how much do you think if we was to buy it and do the work it needs done, about how much do you think that we would put in it?
I don't know. Probably 5 to 10,000.
Okay. Can you give me like the 30-second rundown of the work that it would need?
Yeah. The siding needs to be pressure washed. I just had a new roof put on.
You guys hear me okay?
Last
Give me a
Friday.
thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me okay.
I'm thinking it probably could use a inside painted.
Okay. Inside painting. Okay. And then I have down here that you would entertain us doing some owner financing if we could work out the terms. Is that correct?
Yes. Alexa, cancel music.
Darn it. Got to get Alexa to do her job, man.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
In my Florida home, I have, she can control the locks, lights, and fans. And
That's incredible, man. That's incredible. Does she cook you dinner or not yet?
I'm sorry, what?
I said, does she cook you dinner too?
No, she doesn't do that.
Nope. Just the locks and the lights. That's funny. Let me ask you this, Bill. If we could work out the details, what would you be looking at as a monthly payment on this while we work on it till we get it ready and then either rent it out and refi it or resell it down the line?
Say that again, please.
What kind of monthly payment would be acceptable to you if I was responsible for the maintenance, repairs, and taxes and insurance and took it as is?
I really haven't come up with a monthly figure.
Okay.
I figured I would finance it at 5%. And I think I told one of the girls there. That I would want 20% down.
Oof, 20%. 20.
Yeah, that's less than what FHA and etc. gets.
20. FHA does 3.5%, right?
I'm sorry, what?
FHA does 3.5%. Let me ask you this: Do you need this 70,000 for something specific, or are you just looking to make sure you don't have to deal with the house or taking it back?
Yeah, that's about the gist of it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And forgive me, Bill. I should have gave you that quick background. I just jumped right to the numbers, but myself and my partners have been doing this for the last 11 years, and of course, our whole objective with buying this house, if we work out the deal, would be to close on it, get it up to par. We'd turn around and rent it to somebody who wants to own it eventually and help them fix what's broken. Of course, that's when we get paid, is when we get them to get their new bank loan and cash us out. And so our objective would be to do exactly that, and we would close with a real estate attorney, so you're protected. Number one, been doing this for a lot of years. And number two, if God forbid me and my partners all died in the same plane crash, you'd be legally protected too. But let me ask you this: if we pay the closing, your side and ours, I'm not a realtor, so no commissions or fees or none of that, and we worked out the details on the monthly. We usually buy with nothing down. Is that something that would be acceptable to you, knowing we're going to be doing all this work to it?
No.
How close to that number could you get?
Oh, I would probably take 50.
Would something in the closing, something in the 10 to 15,000 down range, if you knew we was gonna be cashing you out sooner than later, be acceptable?
No, not probably.
Okay. You hoping to use the down payment to expand the portfolio, or are you just gonna invest it?
No, I'm going to do some traveling.
Okay. Where are you headed? Where do you want to travel to?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of places. I've been to a bunch of places. I had 24 years in the military, and
Thank
so
you for your service.
yeah, thank you for the monthly check. I've been holding off on doing that until the overseas climate calms down a little.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Israel. That's on my bucket list. Egypt, Greece. I've been to Germany, Spain.
I love that. I love Spain. One of my business partners is going to Egypt in a couple weeks. He's working on his pilot's license, so I'll have to have him call you. Maybe you guys should connect.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
That's cool, man. Well, if we could work this out, and if it doesn't work, that's okay. We part as friends. But if it does, and we can get this off of your plate, how soon would you be looking to wrap it up?
Probably I'd like to wrap it up before I head back down south to my other place.
When do you head back down south to your other place?
Usually around mid-September.
Okay, so in the next 60 days or so. Okay. So if we could buy this thing in the mid threes, close on it in the next few weeks, what's the tax and insurance run on it?
The taxes on it run around 8,000, 9,000 a year.
Okay.
And what was the other part that you asked me?
Insurance.
I think I'm paying, I want to say probably 1,500.
Okay. Man, they're
I'd have to
crushing.
check on that.
Guess that's New York though. Crushing on that taxes. That's like $800 a month.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But I grew up in Illinois, so I know that feeling. If we could buy it, say we cover the taxes, $800 a month, insurance $150, and then on top of the $800, we pay. If we put another, say, $700 in your pocket, and we done something like 20,000 down the day we close, would we be in range?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
What's going to cost me quite a bit is I got a lot of stuff. And
we're heading in the right
got,
direction.
A 20 by 40 foot steel building in the back that's loaded with my boat, my backhoe attachments. I've got a 2-story shed that has all the pool stuff in it. I've got a 22 by 42 foot workshop that's loaded with power tools and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I figure that's gonna cost me a good buck putting that in storage.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Now, let me ask you this last question. If we can close on your timeline, just looking at what we got to do and all the pieces here. I think the last piece I'd want to nail down before we decided to put pen to paper is the purchase price. Is my number when I called you, I had a certain number in mind. How much flexibility is there in that 350?
With everything that I'm doing, like taking care of the mortgage, and
forgive my interrupting. I have down here it's free and clear. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, got you. You meant you're carrying the note. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Cool. Keep going. So you was getting ready to tell me a number.
Yeah, I think that the 350 is a fair price on it. I've got 46 solar panels here. There's a Generac generator that needs to be.
So this is where the magic happens. This is where I can tend to get a little impatient because I want to just get the deal done. But ultimately, this moment of connection is what, because you're going to send a purchase agreement. Bev's going to send a purchase agreement. There's going to be a delay between now and the closing. So this rapport will make a huge difference. Now, let me ask you this. How long do you think you would need to get all that stuff out?
Well, once I get notified that you guys are moving forward, I would guesstimate probably a month.
A month. Okay. About 30 days. So if we would write it up 30 days, move stuff out, 20,000. Would a purchase agreement at 340 work for you?
We pause.
Yeah, probably.
I should have said 335. Okay. Well, I'm going to do this then, Bill, and I appreciate this information. I have all the info online here. I'm going to rendezvous with my partners, Bev and Carmen, and you can expect from us a little later today, either probably an email with a simple purchase agreement from our attorney with the numbers we've discussed here of the 20 down, the 340 purchase, and then us being responsible for taxes, insurance, your payment on top of that. Any questions that I didn't get answered or that I'm missing, Bev or Carmen would want to call you back from that. Do they have your email already? I don't see it in my notes, but they may already have it. Have they got that from you?
I don't believe so.
Okay. If you don't mind, just give me that real quick. I'm going to mute up.
Yeah, it's, correct.
Okay. All right, cool. You'll get an email from...
You guys are going to need to send me a text when you're going to send me an email because I think I'm 12,000 behind right now.
Oh my goodness. We got to do something about those. I got you, brother. We'll text you when we email you the purchase agreement for your okay. And then the next step will be we'll get it to our closing attorney to start title, and Bev and Carmen will continue to stay in connect with you between now and closing. Of course, we'll be having one of our partners to come do a walkthrough and everything as well after we've got the agreement okayed and started title work to take notes on anything that we might have missed. Any questions you have in the meantime, you let us know, brother.
Okay.
Okay.
I can do that.
All right. You'll hear from us no later than tomorrow morning, and we'll talk again very soon.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Have a good day.
You too, Bill. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
All right. I'm going to go to the comments for a minute. That was a good call. By the way, it's how all my calls go because everybody always wants to sell me houses. That's my affirmation, by the way. You understand, some people do use the N-O word occasionally. Beverly asked how much per month. It's taxes is $8,000 to $9,000 a year. Insurance is $1,500 a year. $700 a month to him on top of taxes and insurance. I chose that number because I'm assuming in today's market, a $400,000 house rent should bring a substantial amount above that. Probably in the mid twos, maybe even mid threes. I don't know rents in this area. Don't know this area well. Now, the down payment that was verbally agreed is $20,000, $700 a month to Mr. Bill, above tax and insurance, $340 on the purchase price. And I just want to spend a few minutes here in the chat. I have a lot more to talk about. I have a lot more deals to call. Let me actually check my calendar. I've got a feeling today's going to run a little over, and we'll be doing a lot more of this. So don't worry. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing this for a while. All right. Actually, no, I have a team meeting, so we won't run over today. right, I'm going to dial. Till we're on our time or till I get through 5. Couple of notes I want to share with you. In today's market, understand that the market is shifting and you are giving a big, beautiful gift to these sellers. You are the answer to their prayer. All right. So be willing to own that status, that stance. I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to dial another person. So give me 10 seconds of muted out. Oh, let's see. Amanda just commented. She said, should rent for between $2,500 and $2,700 per month if it's in good condition. I like that. By the way, exit strategies. We're not going to get into this today because we are moving right along on time. But in coming days, you can fully expect I'm going to be talking about exit strategies, and we're going to be breaking down how we move into cash flow, how we move from... Forgive me, I'm working on this here. All right, there we go. We're going to talk about how we move these to cash flow, how to tell if it's a great deal or not a great deal, how to tell when to get caught up and when not to get caught up, and all of the good things. All right, so a lot of cool things to cover, but we're going to keep dialing today, and I'm going to put this again in the in the chat. I was laughing because I had my laptop sitting on the keypad and I wondered why it kept moving stuff around on me. All right. So there is the topics we cover each day of the week. Again, every Wednesday for the next 4 weeks at least. We're going to see how it goes. The next 4 weeks at least, I'm going to be doing live deal dials for coaching students and for mastermind members. For all of you who are in the coaching or mastermind, you have the link to upload in your email or reach out to Paul. I want to live stream this because I want all of you guys to be able to get incredible value. I want all of you guys to be able to position yourself for incredible growth and to know exactly how to... Give me 1 second. I'm figuring something out here. To position yourself for incredible amounts of success. Okay. So we got a lot to cover here, and I am going to give me a second. I'm going to get this figured out. Check. There we go. There's my buttons. All right. We're going to call Mr. Tim Keogan's deal. Mr. Tim Keogan sent me a lead in Ohio. We're going to dial that now. All right. I'm going to mute for 10 seconds while I dial. Testing 1, 2. All right. Answer the phone, Mr. Corey. Mr. Corey. Toughest parts, getting on the phone. I want to point out something as I was dialing there, and for those of you who are more experienced in this sphere, you'll know this already. For those of you who are newer, this is a huge takeaway.
Please leave your message for 713.
Let me text him. By the way, if they don't answer, always follow up with a text. And then I'll tell you a very important note to remember. That is, when I got on the phone with him, with Mr. Bill earlier, all I had was the information I told you, as well as some notes Bev gave me. I did not see photos of it. I didn't know what it looked like. And I just was calling blind. Now, I share that because there's no reason. Hey there, Corey. It's Andrew. Tim is my partner, and we was interested in your house. When are you available for a quick call? So, boom, there we go. So something that you'll notice is I don't overthink or overstudy. I just get on there and I just get on the freaking phone and I just dial. And I share that because there's no reason to spend 4 hours underwriting a deal that we may never buy. Number one, you got to get them on the phone. Number two, they got to be open to terms or some sort of price that works. And so just get on the phones and it will change everything. All right, now we're calling. We're calling Kay Ireland's deal. I'm going to mute for 10 seconds. All right. This is Sandra, the seller, and this is a deal in Evansville. Oh, I got 2 houses on this street. Good area, Kay. Oh, and she owns 10 houses. Oh, we got to talk to this lady.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Sandra, it's Andrew, partners with Kay. I was calling about your house on Lodge. Interested in the deal? You could give me a call back at this number. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye. All right. We'll try again. Got to get them on the phones. Guys, something is going to happen, and I'm going to be teaching as we go here and as we get in this flow, showing you the whole objective in doing this, what I'm calling the weekly masterclass along with the dials, is just to show you it's a lot easier than you think. Building wealth is easier than we think. I'm not suggesting that it's easy. I'm not at all suggesting that, but I'm just saying that to pick up the phone and dial, one of my friends often says that the phone is not ringing, pick it up. And we are in a market. The market is shifting big time. Oh, this is Tim's lead. We're going to call him back now, or we're going to answer it now. Mr. Corey, it's Andrew. How you doing?
Pretty good. I have a couple minutes.
Oh, cool, man. Thanks for calling back. I think you talked to my partner, Tim, about your Kloss Road deal.
Yep.
Cool, man. So I just have down here that it's vacant and you're hoping to get around $350 out of it. Is that an accurate understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. And then digging in a little deeper, if you don't mind my asking, why are you looking to sell?
So essentially, we picked this up when we first moved to Ohio. The thing is that at the time, wife was she was doing it. So they were allowing remote work, so she wasn't having to go to Cleveland like every week or like every day. Now they've changed the remote policy. On top of that, just better access to certain things as far as her health goes. Yeah, essentially, it's a. When we first moved the whole house and listings, again, great scenery and whatnot. It's just like I said, considering where she is with her diabetes and whatnot, it's also she kind of wanted to be a little closer to the hospital.
Got it. Okay, and sorry to hear that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. So the house is vacant. How long has it been vacant?
Entirely a couple months now.
Couple months. Okay.
Yeah. So what's funny is we were supposed to. Don't want to go fully into the nightmare, but we were supposed to close sometime in. I want to say December, give or take. We had a realtor kind of drop the ball.
Sorry to hear that.
Well, they also might have been a little dishonest about whether someone took a counter offer or not, or it was a whole thing. I'm not going to go too far into it, but their negligence kind of rendered an offer insalvageable.
Ah, crap. You kind of getting hit with one thing after the other, brother.
It happens.
Yeah, crazy. You got a good attitude, though.
In all honesty, so we are looking at going the traditional route. If we don't get a proper offer and whatnot, because at the end of the day, you get a little more money for that. But also, the sooner we're not paying the mortgage, the better.
What? How much is left on that mortgage?
Like $330 some odd. I'd have to ask her.
If I was to buy it and pay the closing, of course, I'm not a realtor, so there's no closing costs or nothing, no commission, excuse me, and I'd pay the closing, close with a real estate attorney. Would you all sell for what's owed on it?
She would have to walk away with something extra.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of, like I said, I think I'm meeting with the partner today, so we can determine that. But like I said, she'd have to walk away with something extra.
Okay. You know how much that something is? Like you talking a few hundred, a few thousand?
It would have to be in a few thousand range at least. Like I said, I can do is I can talk to your partner. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure he can come up with something, or come up with something in the next day or so.
So this is a
we can
perfect
kinda
debt
go from there.
takeover deal.
Does that make sense?
It does. And how much is that mortgage, brother?
Like I said, like a month,
Yeah.
close to 3,000.
Oh, a little high. Okay. You know what that rate is?
I'd have to ask her.
Okay. And does a 3,000 include taxes and insurance?
Again, I'd have to ask her. Like in all
Okay.
honesty,
Yeah, no worries.
before we close everything,
Would she feel like after you talk to her and everything, maybe the three of us hopping on a call, or would that be something that would bring some unnecessary stress, or like, is there any way we can help the situation? I guess is what I'm asking.
So what I'm gonna do is, I'm like I said, I'm supposed to be meeting your partner around 5.
Okay.
What's probably gonna happen is I'm gonna head home, talk to her, and if she's up to it, then like I said, I'm gonna assume this is gonna be somewhere about. If I'm meeting your partner at 5, I'm assuming this is gonna be 6 at the absolute earliest, 7 at the absolute latest. So
Okay.
would that be fine? Or I don't know what time it is where you are, because it may be.
No, that's perfect.
Are you-
Eastern. My partner's on Eastern. I'm actually in California at the moment, but my partner's in Eastern. I live in Louisville, so not far away. But that should be perfect. If for you have my partner Tim's number, I believe, and I'm gonna text it to you as soon as. Okay, cool. Yeah, so just text him when you're free, and then he'll hop on with you. And assuming I'm not on a meeting, I'll also hop on a 3-way with you guys and answer any questions you have. And I think what we would be looking at, Corey, assuming that the numbers, of course, worked out and that she's okay with everything, we would just be buying it. We'd probably, of course, we'd close it with our real estate attorney. We'd agree how much we are giving her, got it where we want it, and then turn around and resell it down the line at whatever point that is. So we just have the questions around if the $3,000 a month includes taxes and insurance. And then, of course, what she's needing to walk away with, and then timeline to close if we come to all numbers that work for us all. Cool?
Okay.
Any more questions pop up in your mind for me right now?
Not at the moment. I am gonna get my lunch though.
Okay, cool, brother. Enjoy your lunch. I appreciate you. We'll talk later today. Bye for now. All right. Mr. Tim, way to go. Make sure you note down, please, to up 6.35% interest. Done got it. So make sure you note down to call Mr. Corey back. And I'll share with you guys what goes through my mind. Number one is there may be some equity here. If there is, this may be one you just buy and turn around and immediately resell. If so, that's a win. Let's say I've seen said 427 on Zillow. No idea how accurate that is. Would you turn around and resell this thing for a quick, a quick profit? That would be incredible. And perhaps it will rent for $3,000 plus a month. You can turn around and sell it on a lease option and maybe get more out of it on the total price. So all sorts of strategies to go with here. I'm going to take and share something with you that I think is going to be very valuable. In fact, we'll do one last call, actually. We're going to call Lori's deal. We're going to call Teresa Lori's deal. So I'm going to mute out. I'm going to make one last call, and then we'll wrap the time with some suggestions and pointers that you guys are going to love. All right. I'm going to mute for 10 seconds. Just so you know, Gail, this is Teresa we just dialed. By the way, virtual shout out to Gail for running the behind the scenes
Please leave your
with me.
message for 50.
All right, Lori, we'll have to try Teresa again later. We're going to text Teresa real quick, and we're going to say, Teresa, it's Andrew, Lori's partner, interested in your Old Hickory Road property. When do you have a minute to talk? All right. So always follow up with a text. Guys, I'm going to give you several notes to take away. Now, there is something that's going to happen as we're hanging out here on Wednesdays and I'm live dialing, which, by the way, let me just give you guys a beautiful free gift. If you're not, crap, what did I just do? If you're not already on here or not already hopping in with me, do yourself a favor.